London Youth Rowing was created to give opportunity to young people from disadvantaged backgrounds and give them access to a sport which would help them achieve their potential in life. Now, rowing is really niche, but it applies to a lot of young people who aren't footballers, aren't runners. They're the ones who sit on the sidelines at PE and kind of low motivation. They don't see themselves as sporty. But what I can guarantee you is the majority of kids on there don't see themselves as sporty, or didn't until they found this sport. And now they're here today, they're being cheered on by their classmates in their schools, they're representing their schools, and we've been able to open up this whole life for them. Our goal is to make sure that they have those life skills that sport nurtures. And rowing is a really good sport for that. Teamwork, leadership, problem solving, just a few of those really important skills. And for us, seeing that on display here is the thing we're after.
I grew up on the west side of Chicago and in a neighborhood that was surrounded by a lot of gangs and violence. Pretty neglected neighborhood, and I grew up without my dad around, without my mom. Always loved sports and looked at it as an opportunity to maybe get out the community. I went to school one day, the second most violent high school in Chicago, and I seen a boat there, and it was a beautiful boat, and they were showing the Olympic Games. And I said, oh gosh, this looked like an amazing opportunity, but no one in the boats looked like me or the world I was used to, so I said no to the opportunity. And then the second day, they had pizza for anyone who wanted to join. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some of that pizza. And so when I went, and it was an opportunity to start the first all-black high school rowing team. And it was truly an introduction to wellness. I think what I love about London Youth Rowing, they have the same mission, right? How do we make sure that every boathouse reflects the diversity in this city? How do we make rowing reflect the diversity in the country? How do we give more access and opportunity to talented people who don't have the money to be in this sport? And that's what I love about London Youth Rowing, and that's why I called Matt up and say, hey, how can I support? You know what I mean? And I'm so glad that my access to being a better man, a better teammate, wellness was not based on the amount of money we have in our pockets. And so that's what London Youth Rowing is doing for kids all over, is making sure that regardless of who you are, where you came from, the hand that you hold, your ability, the color of your skin, there's a place for you in this sport. And that's very powerful. And that's the way the country should be, no matter where you're at in this world.
We got asked to actually do it, and when we went into it, we got this kind of feeling like we can do it. So it's kind of confidence as we push even more and more.
And then we just started practicing more every single day for 10 days, and then we got better, and then we won.
Yeah, it was very fun, and the way my audience are cheering up, it makes me feel happy and get so much energy.
Hard work pays off.
Rowing helped me like no other sports, and it's non-combative and non-conflict, and it's a sport of meditation before a sport of competitiveness. So it taught me how to work well with others. It taught me when the water is violent, when things are violent, how to perform in stressful conditions, how to rely on your teammates. And so rowing taught everything that I use today in my career. I learned from rowing, all the attributes of rowing. So it made me the man I am today.
We engage with about 4,000 to 5,000 young kids a year. It's culturally different. We as a charity have enabled them to get into it without cost. And with them, we're producing events like this. And it's just rebuilding the sport completely. It's making it much more inclusive.
But it's great to see the power of diversity that's represented here in the UK. Not only that, sports has taught us that each though it makes a significant impact in the world in some way, that no sport has entirely reached its goal without the power of inclusion. So when everyone's involved, it gets better, it's inspiring. And that's the way the world should be. So hopefully the world can learn from sports.
It needs different avenues. It needs other people to reinvent the sport. And that's where I think the work that LYR is doing is unique. But it's also done at scale. We are making a big impact on a lot of people's lives. And that's cool.